If you guys watched the Super Bowl, then you probably watched or at least knew that Rihanna performed the halftime show. To me, it was definitely not the most interesting halftime show, and I was slightly distracted by the fact that she was pregnant. All that set aside, I think, she did her job. She's a performer. She worked hard. And, I think the NFL brings in millions and millions and millions of dollars every year.
It does.
So I was considering, I wonder how much Rihanna made. At least probably $1 million from the performance.
Of course, at least, right?
Right? She's a billionaire, I think. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I think she's worth like $2-something billion. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So she's worth a lot as a performer. However, you will be shocked. I mean, shook when you hear what I have to tell you. Rihanna made a big fat zero on that performance. That's right. She was not paid to perform.
Not paid at all. Not a dime. Not
In
a cent.
fact, that is the norm for the NFL. The NFL does not pay its Super Bowl halftime performers. The year previous, 2021, I think it was the big crew, right? Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, whoever that lady rapper is that I can't remember, Lady Blige.
Okay.
Something El Blige, I think.
She's very old.
At any rate, none of them were paid. Okay. And the NFL has done this for years. And their pitch to these performers is somewhat like a pitch to an intern. They say, hey, listen, we know we have a lot of money, but we're not looking to dole it out to a performer. But what we can give you is social credit or social exposure, right? This is a big stage. Millions of people are going to be watching. Who knows what's going to happen to your streaming numbers? As a performer, people will be more drawn to you. So if you look at the stats, the stats don't lie, okay? Music sales for these artists do increase. So The Weeknd, his music sales soared to about 385% purportedly in the wake of last year's performance. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, both of theirs soared by over 200%, their music sales and their streaming. So do they earn money? Indirectly, yes, from the exposure. So they have a point. But I feel like, to me, it's like if someone said, hey, come on over here, work at my restaurant. Come work at In-N-Out, okay?
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Here's the thing. You are going to be interacting with so many guests throughout the day, right? We're not going to pay you, but we're going to pay you with exposure. People will see your work ethic. Think about how many eyes will be on you, okay? That's what you get, and we don't feel like we owe you anything else. Would you not be like... I would laugh in somebody's face if they said that. And yet, this is what the NFL does.
Yeah.
And has done for years.
Yep.
Even if you, as an artist, you say, okay, well, I suppose the exposure I get from the NFL is worth it. That doesn't even still work as it might have in the past, because the NFL of late has had issues with being boycotted because of its stance with Black Lives Matter and all of that. Some performers will be offered something called union scale pay. So like, okay, we'll compensate you according to what you normally would get as an artist for a performance. I looked up what union scale meant. It says there is not an appearance fee, but the artists are indeed paid union scale. The union representing most performers might require a minimum of around $1,000 a day for a high budget show like the Super Bowl. $1,000 Rihanna gets paid. Okay, here it says she's worth about $1.4 billion. That's just insulting. Like at that point, like don't
money,
pay, don't pay me. Like I don't want to take $1,000. But that's like work a 12-hour shift at In-N-Out, and then they're like, well, we'll buy you a coffee. How about that? Like, at that point, you're like, no,
like
I'm
a
good.
$5 Jamba Juice card or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the money to pay performers well. I mean, this is the NFL we're talking about. And, I mean, wasn't there some that we just found, too, where they don't even pay their They don't even pay the dancers.
That's
like
the
the
even more insulting thing.
Yeah.
This gets even more insulting. It's bad enough if you have these billionaire performers that are not getting paid, right? It's like, okay, like that's pretty insulting, but you know, they can take the hit, right? They're like a big artist.
Yeah.
What about the dancers behind the scenes? What about those guys that you never see?
The little guys.
The guys that are wrapped up in disguises, so you have no idea who that dancer is.
Exactly.
They offer them the same kind of compensation for a lot of these dancers. Some of them get paid, but historically the NFL, I was figuring out here, do not pay the majority of the performers.
And you can't say it's for exposure reasons because they are most of the time they are in ridiculous costumes. So like you said, you can't even recognize them. Like
no one hears the name of the dancers, dude.
Yeah, like literally, I could put on one of those costumes, go on stage, perform, come back, and you guys wouldn't even know I was in the thing. So you can't make the argument of exposure.
For this year, there was protest from the performers, the dancers, saying, "Hey, we need to be compensated for being out here." So according to some sources I was looking at, they were saying, "Okay, well, we'll take care of you. We'll pay you minimum wage for your time here." They're literally getting paid like $15 an hour.
That's great. You know, given the support that they really need, right there. That's
I mean, I know performers don't get paid a lot, right? Unless you're like really big. Like being underpaid.
No, but I mean the guys on there though are like fully professional. Like
but that's it.
Fully
like,
professional dancers.
Getting underpaid as an artist is not a novel concept, right?
Yeah.
But for the Super Bowl, where you're bringing in tens of millions of dollars, the cost of the ads.
Oh, well that.
Right, per second, it's like something like $180,000 a second that the NFL is charging these companies to put their ads out.
Correct.
I mean, obviously that money has to go a million different ways, but like $15 an hour for a huge performance, the people that are putting that on.
Hey, look, that's a lot of money for the NFL. That's a lot of money. They better be grateful that they were even offered that. I mean, they should be doing it for free. I mean, thinking how much
they are doing it for free, Tim.
Exactly. Well, thinking how much the NFL has done for them, it's the least they can do in return. So I understand the NFL's position.
Yeah.
You know, I understand their position.
There you go. They're on hard times.
They are.
You know.
I
Gotta
mean, you know, the Depression just happened.
1940s. They're still recovering.
Yeah.
At any rate, a totally goofy situation. We just wanted to cover it. And, yeah, the NFL. Probably not the best organization to be a part of.
Kind of cringe.
Later.